Hey everybody, my name is Jared and I am a Master Mason in the state of Mississippi in the United States of America. And this isn't part of our regular playlists that are out there. I just wanted to interject something and thank all of you who watch this channel. If you haven't caught it before, and I'm sure you might expect something like this, but this channel attracts a certain number of trolls. I've been accused of all sorts of things, and one could even interpret some of these things to being literal threats against me. So, it's just what comes with the territory of trying to actually talk about Freemasonry. But what I want to thank you for as a community is your regular deportment and behavior and not engaging the trolls. I do try to make an effort to come on here every day and delete out the comments that just have no purpose whatsoever. If somebody wants to be courteous but has questions, or even if they can be courteous but try to refute what I'm saying, I can have a civil discourse with that person. But if somebody just wants to come on and fling around accusations, then they just need to walk away. But sometimes I don't get on every single day. I'm sure you can understand that. And so the troll comments stay on for a few days or maybe even a week at a time. And yet I have never had to come back and worry about deleting a troll comment because there were other comments underneath it that I could tell were from regular viewers of the channel. So thank you for that. Now, I wanted to just kind of mention a few things that have been asked in the comments before. A lot of people have asked about these rainbow colored balls back behind me and want to know what the heck is up with all those. Folks, I love that has become a discussion because that was my purpose. Those are nothing more than what are called playable art. I'll leave a link down in the description below where you can go see what they are, but they're nothing more than just little spheres that are connected together by joints that you can move around and shape into different areas. And when my wife had a work from home job, I gave that to her as a gift for something for her to fidget around with while she was doing telephone support. So that's all it is, and I have a lot of fun putting that into different shapes, and there you are. That's all there is to it. So if you want to get in on the joke, leave a comment down below, and if I can find a way to make the shape that you want me to make with those spherical balls, I will do that. But I try to do a different shape in every show. But honestly, sometimes I find the time to sit down and film like 4 or 5 episodes in one sitting, and sometimes I forget to get up and move those things around. But that's all that's going on with that. That's the big mystery solved right there. Some have even mentioned in the past, if I can scooch the correct way, about the corn that hangs there. And some have thought that maybe that was some sort of a allusion to something in Freemasonry. Folks, I've mentioned it before. I have another YouTube channel, a much larger one called J&J Acres, where I show people about the animals we raise on our property and the crops that we grow and things like that. That stalk of corn is nothing more than one ear of corn that grew last year that I was saving for seed. It's hanging there drying so I can plant more corn this year, and if I were doing any bit of farming properly, it would have already been planted about a month ago, but life's been busy. So anyway, those are a couple things people have asked about in the past. I know the office behind me here may look a little bit different than what you have been seeing. We've had a few additions and what have you, but this is my wife and mine little sanctuary. So this is our den, and we like to put our things in here that we tell the kids they're not allowed to play with. In fact, the only thing the kids have in this room is a place to charge their laptops because our children are homeschooled. So this is where they charge their laptops and then do schoolwork during the day. Otherwise, this is mommy and daddy space. So there you have it. But just thought I'd kind of bring it down to earth a little bit with you, step away from specific Freemason topics and just talk to you. And I appreciate how many questions we're getting on the channel. And I know there has been some very kindly worded questions about when we were going to get back into the degree work. That's coming. I'm going to film that here very shortly, and we'll get back into finishing up the entered apprentice degree, and then we'll move on to the other lectures, to the other degrees, and then I want to start talking about other work as well. I have finally convinced myself to pick up the Scottish Rite Ritual Monitor and Guide again. After about almost 3 years of letting that collect dust. I could not remember what it was that made me set that down. I don't know what distracted me. It was probably budget season at work or something, and I never picked it back up again. And it's a lot like doing your proficiencies between the degrees. If you take too long to do it, it just feels like a very big thing to try to get back into. Like you got to start over and remember where you were and whatever else. Well, I finally did it, and I just mailed in today quiz number 4 of the Scottish Rite Master Craftsman program, what was technically the first program that they ever put out, which I believe is called Ritual and History. Now I believe it's actually listed as program number 2. And but anyway, so that's number 4 out of 6. So hopefully I have been reassured by some other brethren that they will take my test, even though it's a couple years old, and send me out the next one, and hopefully I can finish that up in the next couple months. And then we'll move forward to the next program, which is the Master Craftsman's program number 2, which I believe is entitled Philosophy. I could have that wrong. And it incorporates 33 separate quizzes. So we're going to go from 6 quizzes to 33 quizzes, and that's going to take a little bit of time, I wager, but I think it'll be worth it. And that program uses Albert Pike's annotated version by the Grand Archivist, and it's going to use Morals and Dogma as the textbook for that program. So it ought to be quite an eyebrow raising and headache causing kind of thing. I am not good. History really intrigues me, but when I try to read something and like Albert Pike, it just makes my head hurt, and I'm not just that mentally inclined to be able to read that easily. But I'm interested in learning it, so I'm eager to get that first portion, that Master Craftsman, the first program completed, so I can move on to the second program and understand things better. And because those two are sort of tied together, involving the bulk of the Scottish Rite degrees, I want to finish those and then move into Esoterica, which involves the Symbolic Lodge degrees. And then I've been thinking an awful lot about how come we don't have more things like this, more educational programs like this, just for Symbolic Lodge. And I presume that it's because you all but have to have a separate one for every single jurisdiction that's out there, and how complicated and convoluted that would get. But then you have bodies like the York Rite, which are generally international, similar to the Scottish Rite, not quite as many adherents, if you will, not as many members. But why isn't there something like that for the York Rite, or why isn't there something like that for the Order of the Eastern Star? So I want to talk about those things, but those are topics for the future. So again, allow me to thank you not only for being a part of this channel, but let me tell you something. It really helps anytime, not only that you leave a comment, but anywhere and everywhere that you share the video. So head over to Facebook and search for What is a Mason. I will leave a link in the description below. go over there and like the page. Anytime a new video comes out, I post a link to that, and that would be something you could share on Facebook. I also post other things that don't make the YouTube channel, pictures of me out and about at other degrees. I even got to meet somebody the other day locally who did not know that I was local, and when I showed up to his degree, he said, "Oh man, I've watched every single one of your videos." We got a chance to talk, and then I was asked by the Master of the Lodge if I would do his staircase lecture. So it was just a really special night. But those are the things that are happening over on the Facebook page, not here on the YouTube channel, so check that out. And I don't get around to every single social media platform that's out there. So if you're a Redditor, or if you like to go and tweet on Twitter, or whatever you like to do, it would mean a lot to me if you help me spread this information by sharing these links over to your followers, your friends on these other social media platforms. So thank you all for being with me. Thank you for being a part of this channel. And thank you so much for your kind words of encouragement and support. I can't even tell you how many messages I've been receiving, comments that have been left, meeting people in person who have said, "I love your videos. Please, please keep doing them." It just means the world. It's the encouragement that I need to sit down and make an effort to produce these. So thank you for allowing me to step off and away from our regular topics and do this video, and we will see you next time. Bye.